Castlevania has been with us for a very long time, since the early NES days. Now, over the years, we've seen many entries into the series, and mostly they've been in 2D, but when they venture off into 3D, sometimes it's a hit or miss. And so the latest entry into the Castlevania series is this one, Castlevania Lords of Shadow. Now, this is a reboot, so to speak. So they're going to start fresh. It has no ties to the other Castlevania games. However, you know, it is still Castlevania, so they had a lot of the themes from the other games do make its way into this one. Now, this game has been developed by Mercury Steam with the help of Kojima Productions. Now, you can tell Kojima Productions worked on this because it's very cinematic feel to it, and it's a quite lengthy game. So, this is my review for it. It's a little late, and this game came out a while ago, but I just finished it, so whatever. People will pass this along just saying that it's another God of War ripoff. However, that's saying that Call of Duty is the same as Halo, it's the same as Battlefield, and every other first-person shooter on the market. Now, while this is inspired by God of War and all the other action games like Devil May Cry and such, it does have its own unique fighting style. Now, you have what is called a combat cross, like a chain web from the other Castlevania games, where you can upgrade that for your different moves and combos. Now, throughout the game, you get upgrades for the your combat cross, which helps you out in the environmental puzzles. Now, you get like a saw to break down objects standing in your way. You get to swing on certain points of the game to get from one ledge to another. Not only do you get upgrades for your combat cross, you also get upgrades for your person. Now, some of them are gauntlets where you can move heavier objects around, boots where it gives you a dashing ability, and a double jump later on in the game. So these are used to go back to previous levels where you can pick up missed items or inaccessible areas from before. Now, this leads me to the other aspect of the game. This game has a ton of replayability because you do need to go back to the previous levels to get the upgrades for your life bar, your magic bar, and whatnot. So it's also quite a lengthy adventure. I think it has like over 50 levels spread across 12 chapters. Now, the only complaint I have for this is I had got the Xbox version, which is on 2 discs. Now, if you're at the later part of the game and you want to go back to the earlier stages, you're just going to have to switch discs. So if you don't mind that, then that's fine. Um, in addition to your combat cross, you get sub-weapons. You have daggers, holy waters, fairies, and a purple crystal that you can do like an ultimate attack, whatever. And then you have two sets of magic abilities. Now you have light magic and shadow magic. These are two bars that two magic gauges that stay with you for the duration of the game. It's just like your power-ups. So once light magic is activated, you regain health when you're fighting the enemies. It's very useful to have because you do get beat down a lot, and the enemies are pretty tough if you don't dodge and block and repel and all that. Shadow magic gives you more attack power, but it doesn't give you health. So it's just like opposites, and they work quite well. Now, once you attack enemies and gain a combo and you don't get hit, there'll be a little meter on the bottom of the screen, and then once you keep attacking them without getting hit, these magic orbs will appear. Now, these orbs do refill your light magic and shadow magic, so it's always useful to just not get hit and keep attacking the enemy. It'll make fights a lot easier. Another aspect I enjoyed about this game, along with the combat, was the platforming. However, the character does kind of run a little. It's like a little tankish. Sometimes when you need to make a precise jump, he kind of moves a few steps ahead when you lightly tap the analog stick. But it's you can get used to that. But there's a ton of puzzles in the game, where you do have the option if you find a scroll around the area, you can unlock the puzzles, but you forego your reward. The rewards are coins that you can use to spend on upgrades to more combos. Now, I did not. I refrained from um, using the automatics to solve the puzzles because I wanted to do them on my own. There is a ton of puzzles, and a lot of them range from pretty easy to pretty difficult. So it was it was a nice break from all the gameplay and all the action. So it does have the vast majority of puzzles. This game also has a ton of enemies. Previous Castlevania games were, the standard werewolves and vampires and skulls and floating, demons and whatnot. This game has them and a ton more. It has cave trolls, like creeping corpses, as they call it, chupacabras, ghouls, giant spiders, goblins, and the werewolves and vampires and wargs, like the bigger wolves, gremlins, skeleton warriors, of course, and scarecrows, and just like a lot of enemies. Now, some of the bigger enemies that you fight, you get to mount, and then you use them to explore and get to different areas of the game. Like when you control a giant spider, you create webbing to get to a platform you couldn't reach otherwise, and a troll to break down walls that you aren't strong enough to do so yourself. Now, in addition to the enemies, the boss battles, there's a few titans. Now, just imagine Shadow of the Colossus in next generation graphics, and you pretty much have like the Titan fights. They're massive, and the graphics are superb, and it's just all well done. So I can't complain about the enemies or the bosses, and uh, pretty much the visuals of this game. Since this is a reboot, the story doesn't have any ties to the other Castlevanias, and it's a creation of its own timeline. Now, there's no Dracula in this game, so if you're looking for him to be, the main bad guy, then um, he's not here. Basically, uh, our main character, his name is Gabriel Belmont, and he is a knight of the Brotherhood of Light. Now, Earth is pretty much in shambles, and the evil forces have taken over. Where the people who died, their spirits can't find peace. They're kind of stuck in a limbo, and that's why all these evil forces are terrorizing the Earth and the land. So he must venture out to find out, to stop this and to save the world. Pretty much, that's kind of the story in a nutshell. It is more expansive and more detailed in depth, but if you're gonna play the game, I'll just let you figure that out for yourself. So now this game does look tremendous. The graphics are superb. One of the better ones I've seen recently in some time. The rain effects, just the settings, to the character designs, to the Belmont, Gabriel, our main character, to the Titans themselves, like I was saying, and just like everything has like a right feel to it. You go from this forest type to Castle Dracula. Well, not Castle Dracula, but a castle where the vampires reside in. It's just snowing, the snow effects. Just basically, this game is top notch visually. Now, sound, it does have a very tremendous soundtrack also. This was one of my favorite soundtracks that I heard in the game in recent time. Now, it just goes so well with the game because I downloaded it and I couldn't stop listening to it. It's just like one of those fantasy type, something you would expect from kind of like a Lord of the Rings ish movie. So top notch production value on the sound as well. And they do have a nod to the old Castlevanias where they play Vampire Killer in a music box form. So all around tremendous. So in conclusion, this is a very, very good game. I would recommend this to anybody who's a action adventure fan, and anybody who likes God of Wars or the Devil May Cry of the world, or even if you're a Castlevania fan. I don't think you would be disappointed in this. I had a lot of fun with it. There's a lot of replayability, a lot of depth to it. It's not that easy. It has a nice little difficulty to it. The story and the graphics are great, so I would rate this like a 9 out of 10. Since this came out last year, it won't be on my 2011 Game of the Year list, but if I did a list for last year, this would definitely be on it. So until my next review, catch you guys later.